I'll take your advice, and I'll see where it brings me. I'm just not so great sometimes with the smaller engine carburetors.
Oh yeah.
It's if you're not doing bench work all the time on that, you might not be familiar with that carburetor.
Sure,
you're right. And
they're simple to a fault. Yeah,
and they're small pieces. Yeah.
Yep.
So
okay.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for another great program, guys.
All right, Bob.
Much appreciated, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty, let's go take a quick break here, Joe, and then we'll come back hopefully with Greg Hathcock from Vogue Tyres. Let's see if Mr. Mel is in drop D tuning when we go to break, and we'll be back. Keep where you got it.
Hey Siri, what is the square root of 64?
The answer is 8.
Hey Siri, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Don't you have anything better to do?
Hey Siri, where did some of my favorite hip-hop producers and MCs alike originally get their samples from?
Ask DJ Solero on Lyrics to Go. Now at a brand new time, Sunday afternoons at 3.
Hi, I'm DJ Solero. Join me for the music of yesteryear, the music that hip-hop producers have gone on to sample in later years, along with some of the best hip-hop music that the 80s, 90s, and the new millennium have produced.
I told you DJ Solero knew the answer. I also told you to take a shower, but that hasn't happened. So, no way of knowing if you will follow this advice either.
It's Lyrics to Go for true musical inspiration at a new time live, Sunday afternoons at 3 on the Voice of Nassau Community College 90.3.
90.3 WHPC.
Hey, that was my line.
Sorry.
All right, we are back with Mel and the boys, Ray Guarino, Joe D, Motormouth Radio, and we did have a call out. I hope that was Greg. I don't know, but we might have lost him. You know what?
Yeah, we got more flashing.
Let's go back and say, hi, you're on with the Motormouths.
Hey, Ray, it's Greg Hathcock.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, how you doing?
We need some intro music for Greg. Hang on a second. Let's try this. See if this resonates with the audience, because we were just talking about, right?
Yes.
We all know what this is, right? We were just talking about low riders. All right.
All my friends know the low rider.
And now they're going to know Mr. Greg Hathcock from Vogue Tyre. Greg, how are you? Great to speak with you.
Ray, I'm doing great. How are you today?
Very good. Joe and I have been we were pre-selling this a little bit. We were talking about Vogues a bit, and we were just anxious to get you on the horn and see what's going on. So it's been a while. It's been a few years since we had you on the show. And
it has. Good to talk to you.
And it is great to talk to you. We're happy to have you back. So please let the audience know, the people who don't know, because we did have a caller who wasn't familiar with the term Vogues and Spokes that I threw out. Tell us a little bit about Vogue Tyres and your involvement with them.
Well, so Vogue's been around a long time. We were founded in 1914. We invented the white wall. And we've been known for probably the last 50 years for our white and gold custom-built radials that people probably see on Cadillacs and on Lincolns and Lexus and SUVs all over the place. So that's what the niche we're known for. Now we're branching out into black ball tires and CUV tires and everything, but predominantly it's the white walls that we're known for.
Right. Oh, yeah. No, let's face it. That is your signature thing, at least around here.
Right. So
now, 1914, the company originated, which is fantastic. I mean, you guys went through a lot of great. I mean, I saw in the timeline between 45 and 65. That's when the Gold Streak tire came out. That Rod and Custom magazine heralded as being the tire to have, and something that I think is way ahead of the time was it mentioned in 65, 70 was you had a puncture control pad on the tires, which we know now is run flats.
Yeah. Puncture resistant.
That's fantastically ridiculous from 1965 to 70. That's
some tech you got there.
You must have some great engineers at Vogue to come up with that.
Well, yeah, and the puncture control pad was more of a it wasn't necessarily a run flat. It was an inner liner that would surround a foreign object that came through the tire to try to slow down the loss of air. Mm-hmm. To give you, so you don't have that loss of control, that catastrophic loss of control. Mm-hmm. We also had Aramid. We were, I think, one of the first to
Kevlar
to go with Aramid back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And, Goodyear used to basically, when they had something new they wanted to try, they'd kind of try it on us first to make sure it worked. and then they'd, put it through their main line. But that was fun. It was fun to be on the cutting edge, and, we're still trying new things. When you look at some of the sizes we have, a 24-inch SUV tire, 35 series, white and gold. I mean, it's tough getting that sidewall design on a low-profile tire, which, as you guys know, is the whole market.
I would think, yeah.
Yeah, talk about shrinkage. You got to minimize everything there.
Right. So there's a lot to do in trying to, move the you don't want to have that one flex point for durability. So it's a challenge. The engineers love it because it's something different.
Yeah.
And the companies like it. The companies we've worked with that have manufactured tires for us have always liked our brand because it's a challenge, and they learn things that they can then apply to their broad line products.
Mm-hmm.
So,
how many engineers do you have at Vogue Tire engineers, Greg?
All told, we call on about probably 20 engineers between the tire company and the guys that we employ ourselves. So. And that's great. So you get, a wide variety of experience and approaches that you need when you're trying to be creative and designing new things. So.
Right. I know you guys were Goodyear, manufactured by Goodyear for 75 years. So Vogue doesn't actually make tires. Is that correct? You partner with a tire manufacturer to make your product.
Right. Okay. So we go to them with an idea, and we go with them with a size, and then we collaborate with them on tread patterns and sidewall designs, and we also benefit from their experience in terms of what sizes should you be building. It's a combination of what they're seeing, what our customers are asking for. Being a smaller company, we can react to feedback from our customers a lot, I think, faster than some of the larger companies can. And we really look to our customers to give us ideas and feedback.
That's great that you guys listen.
How to improve and what to build, all that kind of thing. So
yeah, it's kind of hard to improve on a product that people look at as a top tier, elite type of a tire, and that's what we talked about in our first segment. How when you had the Caddy or the Buick, the Riviera, or a 225, a deuce and a quarter. Or many other cars.
That was the next step up. That put you above.
It's like
the other guy, the other caddies, and the other. Yeah,
you're at the top of your pay scale already. You're an up and coming professional maybe, or you're just a styling guy on the block, and you got to have that car. And now, what do you do from there? Well, then you put Vogues on it.
That's it.
And that
gets you the first parking space in front of the disco.
Yeah, there you go. Which is fantastic. But now to branch out.
Yeah, you guys. I'm sorry.
It makes sense that you're branching out into SUVs because we see so many SUVs and CUVs and trucks now that it's I think it's a wise move. It sounded like the right thing to do.
But people still want to make their cars unique. They still want to personalize their cars and SUVs. We find that CUVs and SUVs are no different.
Sure.
And like the Cadillac Escalade is a huge vehicle for personalization.
It's a huge vehicle for anything.
Well, and you think about it. If you're buying basic transportation, you're probably not going to buy an Escalade or any kind of Cadillac or Lexus or something. And people want to be unique. If they're going to try to stand out, then there's just one more way to do it is to put a set of tires and wheels or a grill or some other accessory to make your car different from the guy next to you.
Mm-hmm. Now, Greg, you guys always used a very interesting network for selling your products, and you partnered with dealerships mostly, right? I'd see, there were always racks in the dealership that had your tires on it, so a salesman could then, if a customer questioned it, or the salesman could upsell and say, hey, if you want to do something a little different. Is that still in place today, that network?
Yeah, we still have a huge. We're fortunate to have a lot of great dealership customers all over the country, and we also have partnered with Discount Tire in retail, and Mavis in your market carries our tires, and we also have some select wholesalers that deal with the independents, the small independents, which still make up the majority of, the retail tire business. So the key for us is to make sure that, we pick the right partners that'll service our products right, because our warranty is more, extensive than the marketplace, and it can take a little more time. And our customers, want the best, and if they have some sort of issue with our product, we want to make sure they're taken care of.
What, in a nutshell, what is the basis of your warranty that sets it apart from some other places?
We still offer a 60,000-mile warranty.
Okay.
We have what we call a 30-day buy and try guarantee. So if you buy a set of tires and then anything in the first 30 days about them you don't like, then we'll buy them back.
Oh, wow.
That's some confidence right there for a tire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have for the custom-built radials, the first 50% of tread life, if you have a manufacturer's defect, we replace it at no charge.
Wow.
After that, we prorate it.
Nice.
It's just something that we're very confident in our product. We don't do a lot of warranties, but
I would imagine.
Stuff
the peace of mind
happens.
that comes with a warranty like that, helps our customers stuff.
Yeah, it's like a customer brand loyalty. When you're buying a certain brand of tools, whether it's Snap-on or Mac, you're keeping it unless something catastrophically goes wrong. There's no way. We tried doing something like that with the radio show. We gave people a 30-minute guarantee where if they didn't like what they heard, they could call in. But we couldn't give them the time back, so we just had to kill the deal.
Yeah, they used to say, there's 55 minutes of my life I'm never getting back.
Exactly. But we tried.
I don't think you guys have any claims at all, though, right? Pretty much no claims.
Well, we stopped answering the emails, so now I have to say we do not have any more claims, no.
Exactly.
That we walk around with the hoods over our heads.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we do it.
And voice alters, yeah.
Yeah. We had a caller earlier who heard that we were having you on, and he had a question. Bob wanted to know, what does Greg drive? What's do you have a car that you use, or a car or a truck that's kind of a play vehicle or a toy or a collector? He's always curious, as we are, what our guests are involved with on the other side.
Well, so my everyday car is an ATS, a six-cylinder ATS. Has our tires and wheels on it, and actually it's a really fun little car. I don't know if you've driven one of those.
No,
but, it's interesting, and the reputation hasn't caught up with the brand yet, but in a lot of things you read in reading Car and Driver or Motor Trend or anything, I mean, they talk about actually the driving characteristics of the new Cadillacs, the CTS, ATS, CT6 are actually in some ways better than some of the German vehicles that have this reputation of being...
They have a lot of German cars in their sights when they engineer these things.
I know the CTS has been chasing BMW for quite a while and surpassing it in many instances. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, like the last, they just came out with a new 5 Series, and you're reading that BMW is kind of going back maybe more to the ultimate driving machine type of setup. But that last generation, I guess, they got some negative feedback from the press that maybe they went too much toward the luxury end. So and everything goes in cycles, but
sure,
you certainly can't. You can't say anything negative about BMW, but. Right. Cadillac really has come a long way. It's just takes a long time to build the reputation back up, and and that's why the products we're coming out with, like the Signature V line, that's all W-rated touring tires.
Yeah, I was looking at that on your website. That is impressive. That's a performance tire. That ain't no posing tire right there. That's for sure.
Right. And you're feeling that, and you guys know how fragmented the tire industry is now. You kind of pick your niche, and so you get a W rating, you get quiet ride, you get a smooth ride. It's not a summer sport tire.
Yeah, it's got a nice tread design. It looks like it's all weather. Yeah, which is good.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of people that's got to drive no matter what, and sometimes trying to keep 2 sets of tires around is not always plausible.
Right.
So,
and I know here in Chicago, there's only a couple days a year where you can't. They're pretty good about plowing the roads and everything. And I suppose if you live in the mountains or something, you might want to do.
That pop-up snowstorm.
Do that, but if you have a X drive or all-wheel drive or something like that on your on your vehicle. And all-season tire, 99% of the time it's going to do you just fine.
Yeah, I'm one of those nuts. I do have a dedicated set of snow tires on steel rims for my car, and it's always that balance. Like, okay, when